Hi everybody, and welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. This is me, Oberon, with my Emotional Exchanges, my Friday weekly show on the emotional matters for you. I picked Friday because Friday, of course, is the traditional day of Venus. So that's the way we do it here. And I'm joined today by my special friend, Shadow, who has totally taken over the space I was going to read the cards on. So I'm going to have to improvise a little bit. We'll figure it out. I've seen in the past that when I've moved her, it usually doesn't end well. So anyway, we do a reading for the elemental signs of the Zodiac, and then I throw in one card for each specific sign of the Zodiac too. So we're going to get started right now. And of course, this is the second week of my new, once again, revised format. So we're going to start with our air signs first. And air signs are, of course, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. All right, so our first card, it represents what is emotionally pleasing to you this week. What makes you happy, what brings you your happiness. So for the emotional happiness that the air signs will find this week, it may be in the reversed Four of Pentacles, the Four of Rings in this deck, the Final Rose Tarot. And that's because this is the week where you feel you are able to give freely of yourself emotionally to your friends, to your lovers, to whoever merits that. This is a really good sign for the air signs. This is a good card for the air signs, indicating really that your love is opening up and spreading strongly this week. Now, what will be the emotional challenge or surprise this week? And it's the Queen of Pentacles. It's called the single mom here, though I don't know that that necessarily means this is about single moms. And it says Queen of Rings, that's the Queen of Pentacles. So the emotional surprise, I suppose, is realizing that there's a lot for you to do, air signs, in the world of maybe nurturing all the things you love and care for, especially your friendships and relationships. So why it might be maybe the challenge or the surprise is because maybe you don't always feel inclined emotionally. You know, as an air sign, you know, your tendencies go towards more you know, cerebral, intellectual kind of thing. You think things over, you know, you understand love, but maybe you don't understand love the same way, you know, an emotional Cancer or Scorpio would. This is the week maybe where you just realize you have to give more to those around you. You do. And so then finally, of course, we are going to what will concern emotionally those in your sphere, you know, what kind of things concern those you love or care about. It's the reversed High Priestess. And what may be concerning to some of the people you care about is they're feeling that they're not really understanding love. They're not feeling the intuitive things that make them understand they are loved or being loved. Maybe they're really looking for a lot of answers, and hopefully you will be the one that can try to help them. Remember that Queen of Pentacles, you know, giving to the world. So I think people in your atmosphere really do have, I'll just say, some sort of issues right now relating, you know, to things, and maybe your role will be helping them this week. Okay, so I said I was going to do specific cards for the signs of the Zodiac. Well, a card for the specific sign of the Zodiac. And I'm going to use my Egipicios Egyptian-based tarot. And the reason I'm using this deck for that is it has wonderful words that I like to use as a keyword. So for the air signs, our first keyword is for, of course, Gemini, and it's magnificence. Be magnificent. It's card number 32 of the 78, so I'm not sure exactly what minor arcana it pertains to, but I'm just going to say this is a card really of you being truly glamorous. So I think Geminis, exalting your magnificence, realize that maybe, at least for this week alone, most of the world is probably revolving around you. All right, so then on to Libra. And Libra, oh, this is so interesting because, of course, Libra, there's your scales there. Speculation. Libras, I think in the ways of romance, maybe you are really just at that mode of really considering, for sure, weighing what's going on around you emotionally. Maybe you're not convinced and you really have to review the data, so to speak, of love or your relationships. So there's going to be some speculation going on about what's going on emotionally in your life, what is floating your boat, or maybe not. And then finally for air signs, we are on to Aquarius. And Aquarius gets number 73. I have no idea what minor arcana it is. And it says love and desire. So that's pretty self-explanatory for a reading like this that's dealing with, you know, the emotional realms here. I think this is really saying that Aquarians, probably you rule what's going on emotionally of the air signs. Things seem to be moving in the direction you would want. So maybe Aquarians, you know, you're expanding love in most ways, whether you have relationships or not. Okay, so now we're moving on to the fire signs. And so fire signs, what is emotionally pleasing for you? What brings emotional happiness? And it's the Six of Cups. Butterflies, it says, but really the Six of Cups is talking about the things that make us happy from our past, especially if it's childhood things. So I think for the fire signs, and that's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, this week represents a chance to really review and indulge in your fond memories. And I'm waiting because maybe the cat's going to move. One. And you saw that, eh? All right. So, geez, maybe I could actually use that area. Oh, yeah, we love you, baby. Okay, so then also, what's the emotional surprise this week? What is challenging or surprising? And it's the Four of Cups. And it says reflection. And it's probably the kind of thing that maybe you really feel you have a lot to think about, fire signs. You're not just ready to make certain choices emotionally with what's going on in your love life or in your life of friendships or things. So this is a time for reflection. And then what will be of concern to those around you emotionally? And there is some concerns here. It's the reverse chariot, the limo they call it. This would seem to indicate that maybe those around you don't feel they can engage emotionally, romantically right now. There's maybe obstacles going on for them in some ways, or they just don't literally have the drive, the motivation to do that. So watch out for your friends' fire signs, because it looks, you know, like maybe, you know, you'll be hearing about this personally from them. Okay, so now we're going to do the individual one word, one card for fire signs. And so we start off with Aries, and it's the Weaver, number 24 in this deck. And the Weaver, as a word of the week, says, Aries, in the emotional sense, this is the week for you to maybe do the maneuvering. And sometimes weaving has magical framework idea. Sometimes it has sinister thing, you know, weaving webs of deceit, you know. But we're just going to take it as the normal idea that the Weaver is your role this week to kind of play with the threads in relationships, the fabrics, textures, tapestries of the relationships of your life. So maybe you're the one that's going around and pulling the threads together for summer outings or family outings or situations. So why not, Aries? Okay, so then we're going to move on to Leo. And Leo has meditation, number 58. And so for Leo, I think this week says, especially considering some of the other cards I pulled for fire signs in general, that this is a week to really give some due meditative thought to what's going on romantically or with relationships in your life, and that you may seek answers that really bring the need to quiet your mind and absorb what's going on first. And then Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, you have number 23, the laborer. And I guess that's saying that maybe, you know, to some degree, you know, just like somebody else in the fire signs is just weaving the threads of relationships and romance, you're going to be laboring at it. That there may be the idea here that what you want emotionally or satisfying with your loved ones or the ones you want to be your loved ones will be some work for you. And that's what I had for the fire signs. So now we will go to the water signs. And water signs are, of course, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So what is pleasing? What is the emotional good thing happening this week? And it's the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Rings here. The final two, it says. That's not necessarily what it means here, but what it does mean, I believe, is that there's a sense of emotionally things really being managed well and controlled and looked at for where possibilities for growth or movement or achievement will lie. And so you water signs, this is really a time for you to weigh the options if you're looking for romance, or if you're having certain, you know, friendship situations, you might have to weigh and consider all the things that are going on. Okay, also for you, there is a challenge or surprise this week, and it's the Empress, also known as the Bachelorette. Well, that's a pretty nice Empress, but as a card here for our reading, the challenge, I guess, is for you to really put into action your words, whether it's for a number of people or whether it's just for somebody specific, to show them how you love them, show them how you care, show them how they are your world. The Empress is kind of the mistress, the master of the world. This is you this week. Show people what you mean in action. Don't just say it in words. Okay, finally then, what is of concern to the other people in your life, water signs, whether they're water signs themselves or just all your other friends, neighbors, co-workers, etc. And it's the Knight of Mirrors, the Knight of Swords, it says the meathead. Maybe what is of concern, I suppose, is that somebody may feel that in their situations, romantically or relationships, they feel that maybe there's something that's too forceful happening. Maybe they feel they are moving too fast. Maybe they feel the person that they're trying to be involved with is moving too fast. The result is that maybe they feel like one or the other, someone's being a meathead here. Someone is not working with the energy the way it is. Someone's trying to force that energy. So water signs, if that's you, dial it down a bit. But also don't accept that necessarily from the other people. And remember, I said this is what's concerning other people around you. So they may be looking at you and saying, hey, cool it down. Or maybe you just need to be aware that they have these situations and to have their back, so to speak. Okay, so water signs. The individual card first comes Cancer. And we get Temperance from the actual major arcana, Temperance. And I think what this says, of course, is that you guys need to really be very moderate and balanced with your emotions this week. Don't get in head over heels. Hey there, I hear you down there struggling around. She's always doing something, my shadow, eh? But you should do better with trying to temper most emotions, especially if there's anything going on that sort of seems that way, like it's going to get volatile. Then for Scorpio, it's premeditation, number 52 in this deck. And premeditation, I think what this is saying is Scorpios, you too have to be pretty deliberate maybe about what you're planning emotionally, especially if there's a situation that maybe you know would be relating to some of the other cards and just represent some extreme situations. Maybe you know about the meathead and maybe you can help your loved ones fend off the meathead, something like that. Just being aware of what you can do before you have to do it, especially in the way of possibly volatile or emotional situations. And then finally, we move to Pisces. And oh, I'm so sorry, but this is almost the perfect in-joke for Pisces. It says confusion. You know, a lot of people give Pisces that rap. They're always confused. But maybe this is just saying really that this is for you a week where you know you feel confused about what's going on emotionally in your life, that you may actually feel that you don't know if you love somebody, if you love what they're doing, if you care about a certain friend and what they're doing, what that is. If you're confused about emotional matters, it's probably that something is in the mix for you, Pisces. So just try to note that and be aware and deal with it. All right, so now we're going to get on to our final quadrant, the Earth signs. Earth signs, hello, baby. I know you want to jump up here, but I got to keep you from doing that. You'll mess everything up. Earth signs, you are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And what is emotionally pleasing, happy, causing for you? I suppose it's the reversed Five of Cups, the realization that there is life after love, as somebody says. The idea that maybe all is not really so bad, that many emotional matters can be achieved in a better way, or maybe found to, return, to situations that maybe you thought were no longer going to be valid for you. It's kind of good for the Earth signs. It's a good card. It's a card of healing in a way. So what is the challenge this week? It's the King of Wands upright. And I think the King of Wands, this energy for challenging, says that maybe some of us in the Earth signs, we're looking at trying to get out there and be confident and magnetize something. Maybe it's just a situation that we would love to happen, but maybe we're also looking for a companion, or looking to increase our romantic notions, or just emotional friendships, just to increase them. This is the challenge this week, is trying to find where you can enter in, where you can show confidence, poise, and talent, and be, an achiever. Be confident, be magnetic and charismatic. So then finally, what is of concern to those around you, Earth signs? And it's the Two of Wands. Boy, you got a lot of fire this week. And the Two of Wands is upright. It says date card. So I think that the challenge is that maybe there are other people around you right now who are really not, well, this isn't their challenge. This is really what concerns them, is they're trying to figure out how they can plan to solidify things either in their romantic or emotional lives to some degree. They're feeling that they have done something, but they're feeling like they're not quite there yet. And so it's the idea of the Date card. They're looking for ways to increase that. So good luck with that, Earth signs. So then finishing up here for our friends who are Taurus, they have duplicity. So Tauruses, watch out for people around you who maybe romantically, emotionally, friendship-wise are not necessarily what they seem like. There may be somebody this week who is giving you an angle, is not exactly being on the level. And then for Virgos, Virgos are hitting a jackpot of their own here. It says communion. And that's a great card from that emotional point of view. I think this is saying that Virgos really kind of come to a communion with what they've really wanted, whether it's a person they've desired for love or for friendship, or whether it's a situation. I think Virgos are hitting a jackpot. They're going to really feel they have received a gift of some sort, a sacrament even. And then finally, ending with the Capricorns. And Capricorn, generosity. Oh, I know that's going to be hard for you. Capricorns need to give freely from the heart. At this time, Capricorns need to understand that generosity works both ways. And that when you give, you get back too. So that's what I had this week for the emotional exchanges, and I'm glad you joined me. Don't forget to watch Happy Hour tomorrow at 10 a.m. and also Banshee's Material Matters at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. And then join us in our chat room later on Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. Thank you for watching TFT Tarot for Today.